Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Shop Talk, and this will probably be a quick one. First thing on the agenda, 4,040 subscribers. As you can see, hard to believe that this channel has already made it up to over 4K subscribers. First I want to thank all of y'all for the support and staying with me and listen to me ramble on about what we do on this channel. Very much appreciated. Next thing is I want to apologize to y'all guys for the last video, number 108, the Sony CRF 320 repair. Ever since I've been doing YouTube videos, I have always used Windows Movie Maker. Well, I probably had about 20 hours plus footage of this repair, and after editing out all the unwanted stuff, we had gotten down to right at 3 hours of video. When I went to save the video, that's when things started going wrong. And let me show you what we do. After your video is all edited and saved, but just a open session with no videos in it, we go here to File, and we'll go down to Save Movie. Now since I don't have nothing in here, I can't show you. When you go to Save Movie, it gives you different options to save it under. One of them is YouTube, so I save it under YouTube, and that formats the video especially for YouTube, for uploading, you know, on YouTube. And it does it at a little bit higher resolution than normal if you were to save it for like computer. But it puts, you know, the videos in HD, and when I go to save it, it will get about 10 minutes into the save and come up with an error. And what it was is a memory error. It has nothing to do with hard drive space or RAM memory in the computer. It's one of the things that Windows Movie Maker craps out on you with. So I could not save this video. I went through 3 complete editing formats and you know, redoing the video until I finally got it where I could save it as a computer video, which, you know, that knocked the quality of the video down by half, and it really didn't have the normal graphics that I like in my videos. So I was real disappointed with that. So I need to go online, look at some different programs that'll handle bigger files and longer movies. As you know, my channel doesn't have any special video effects and explosions and happy dances and all kinds of neat stuff like that other channels have. You know, mine is pretty much, you know, on repair, and that's how I like for my videos to be. No big special effects or nothing, just all, you know, repair, being as serious as I can about it and getting the videos out to you guys. But if I keep making long videos, I am going to have to get a different video editor, and I've tried a few others in the past, and I just didn't like the way they worked. I like the format that Windows Movie Maker does. It has, you know, very limited things in it, but, you know, my channel ain't all about the bling bling. It's just about getting the content out to you guys. So something I do need to think about in a future video editor is being able to do screen captures and picture-in-picture and 2 cameras and so forth. So that's something I've got to look into. I'm trying to find free stuff that'll do what I want, but if I have to, I may have to just go ahead and buy a better editor. I looked at Sony Vegas, and it's kind of complicated. You know, guys, I'm not a software person. I'm a repair person, so you know, I can tear a computer apart and work on the boards, but when it comes to software, things are a little bit difficult. But I can always learn and get what I need to do. So we're going to look at trying to find a better video editor here for the future, because I do have another piece that's probably going to be pretty long that we get into. As you see over the other bench, we've already got another Sony on the bench that we're working on, and that's going to be a quite long video itself. And I haven't seen any repairs videos on this model, which is the V-21. It's a very nice communication receiver, so we'll be getting some video here in the future on the repair of this unit. So stick with me if you'd like to see that. We'll be able to see what it is and how to go about fixing some of the issues that's wrong with it. We have a bad LCD display, and the sensitivity is way down from what it should be. But we'll be getting kind of in depth on this one, and probably doing, you know, it's going to be all electronic repair, no mechanical repair on this one. So it should be a good fun video. And y'all all familiar with my old IFR 1200? Well, it's acting up again. We've got a lot of issues that's going to have to be addressed in this thing. As you can see, there's no spectrum analyzer display at all on the front end. We're completely blank. If we go to scope mode, no problem, scope is there. But back to spectrum analyzer, no display. I can go to generate, no display there. I can rotate the vertical, and you can see the top of the waveform trying to come up, and it'll run, and all of a sudden, boom, it pops up and works fine. Then it'll slowly drift back down and disappear. So I got several issues on this piece of equipment that I've got to go in and look at. And the only reason why I haven't done it is the unit is still usable. I can still do all my receiver tests and stuff with it. I also have the 8640B to fall back on, but I've always liked the way that the IFR works. So it's got several problems. We already know that the termination pad is it's gone, and we have a resistor in there just to keep it at the right impedance level until I can go ahead and buy that $200 termination pad. Our cyanide no longer works. I cannot get no signal to the meter from the cyanide port, so I got to work on that. Spectrum analyzer goes in and out, scope works fine, so we got to look at that. And another thing, sometimes when you turn it off and turn it on, we get an out of lock. And usually to fix that, you just turn it back off and turn it right back on, and it'll lock. And once it's locked, it's good, no more problems. So it looks like we're going to have to do a complete rebuild of this unit, and let's take it down and go through all the power supplies and all the ribbon cables and coaxes, and make sure that this thing is full of rigid coax cables. So we're going to have to go in there and tear it back apart and see what we can do with it. Should be pretty interesting. We done been in it several times. You know, we went in it, we took these switches out and fixed that, and that solved the problem one time. So I don't know if the switches has gotten dirty again, they just need to be replaced, or there's some other problem. But we'll have to get in there and start testing and find out what's going on. See, can't we get this thing back where it's supposed to be from, you know, factory standards. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty intense repair. I will say also it's nice having all the extra bench space, so I can be working on one thing, and I've got the communication receiver from Sony on one bench and have a TS940 on the other bench that I'm working on. It had a lightning strike, and I got my main bench over here free so I can get stuff in and out that needs to come in quickly and get worked on, which I have a TS50 on the bench over there also. So it's really helping out to have all this extra workspace. It's so much, but you know, it's just unbelievable the way that this really helps out here in the shop, and we can get things on the bench and get them off a whole lot quicker. And this way, when we got something tore down, we don't have to pick all the parts up and move them, you know, to get something else on the bench, and we just go to one of the other benches. So we'll be slowly adding more test equipment over here. Thanks to Mike, he's already helped out quite a bit with that. Yeah, speaking of equipment, we got several packages that came in the past week that we've got to sit down and go through. I think a lot of it is going to be mail time, some of it's repair. But we'll be getting into a mail time video here, probably following right after this video. So we got quite a bit of stuff sent in, and I think you're going to be truly amazed over this mail time video. It's got a lot of nice stuff in it that we don't usually see in one of my videos, and there's going to be some big thank yous to some guys. Most of it I already know what it is. We just got to get it all unboxed and took out and have a look at it, so stay tuned for that. That should be coming up right after this video. So one thing I did do over here on the one of the other new benches is put in a computer, because you know, it's great to have a computer to pull up and look at schematics on stuff that you're working on without having to worry about the other computer and running back over there and look. So I picked this one up. It's a one of the HP Slim lines, and it did not work. Someone, you know, I got it for free, so someone gave it to me. So I brought it home and found out that the power supply was burned up in it, and unfortunately that power supply for that model seems to be running about 50 bucks or so. So I come up with a little fix for that. So as you can see back there in the corner, there is a power supply just sitting there that's plugged in, and that's what's running this computer. That came out of another HP that was a thin computer, and the one that goes in this one is kind of a long, real thin, skinny power supply. But this one's about 100 watts more than what the original was, and I just got it wired in, made an accessory plug, run it right in, and plugged everything in. So we got this computer here up and going, and it has about 8 gigabytes of memory and works pretty good. So that solved the problem of not having a computer over here. Yeah, we stay pretty busy in here most of the time. Again, there's always so much to do. I'm sitting here working on this Sony Receiver, and I found something that just jumped out at me, and I mean literally jumped out at me. And this is the V-21, and this is the one I said that had the receiver that was down. We had the back off, and we moved the metal shielding that's around it. And you know, the owner complained about the receiver just wasn't receiving as good. And one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of different mix max capacitors in here. I mean, just looking down in this area alone, we can see some light blue caps, some dark blue caps, and some real dark blue caps. Makes you wonder what Sony was doing back then. Or has some of the caps been replaced? I don't know. I haven't discussed it with the owner. But anyway, I said many times that whenever you're working on something, some of your best tools you can use is your senses, and one of them is sight, and just looking things over real good and see if anything pops out at you. And something real funny popped out at me over here. If you look right down here on top of this can, what's up with that? Does something there look a little strange to you? It does to me. It just looks like that's a capacitor there out of place. And if you can see right here, we can see the lead sticking up. And there it is. 100 microfarads at 63 volts. And since it's sitting down here, it's got to go somewhere close. I know this metal shield holds it pretty good, so if anything was to fall off the board, it would have to fall and hit this. Luckily it fell in here, and let's just hope it hadn't shorted out any components down there. But since our capacitor was sitting here, we know it's got to be from this area up here somewhere. And as we look down, if you look right over this component here, we see something that sticks out a little bit. We can see what looks like some circuit traces removed and had come off. And on our capacitor, we can see the circuit trace and even some of the green epoxy from the circuit trace is still on the pads, on the leads of this capacitor. Now Sony is famous for gluing things down, but this is a bit newer than the last one that we used, and it looks like to me that you know, just looking around the board, you don't see a lot of glue on this board. You know, we got capacitors there just hanging, soldered to the board. Got that big blue one right there that's it's not epoxy to the board. As you can see, this IC chip is pretty much glued down. So this has to be where that capacitor came from. And by looking here under the magnifying glass, we can see our plus symbol silk screen on the board, and we can see this pad right here is gone and this pad right here is gone. So we got a bit of damage on the board there that we're going to have to address. Hopefully the service manual will show the layout of the circuit traces. At least I hope it does. That's going to be a very interesting fix right there to get that capacitor. You could actually see the fibers here in the circuit board where this trace has removed from the board. Might lifted that pad off. So the capacitor was probably, you know, just in there at a 90-degree angle, nothing holding it, and it finally broke off the board and then fell on down and landed on top of that metal can. So that's going to be an interesting fix. I think y'all guys are going to enjoy the video of the V-21. So that's going to conclude this shop talk video. Like I said, just a quick one anyway, just a few updates and stuff. And mostly I really wanted to apologize for that last video. I know the video quality just wasn't there, so maybe we can make that better in the future. Anyway, stick around, a lot more repairs to come, a lot of exciting things coming up. So you know, leave your comments down below, click the show more tab if you want to contact me, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one now.